I make a certain amount of money, so he has to at least make about 75.
Okay. He has to make at least 75. Okay.
And we're dealing with them nice round numbers again, where women just throw out stuff without realizing what it actually means. Okay, so average income in North Carolina for men. All right, there it is. I can't. It's always amazing me. It always amazes me. Yeah, he needs to make twice as much as the average man. Now she probably lives in a major metropolitan area, but even then, it's still it's not you're not going to get a double the salary. So right off the bat, we know that this is a career woman who is looking for. Well, we don't know what she's looking for. So far, she says an ambitious, honest, has morals, is spiritual and family oriented. Oh yeah, that's a good bike. Probably 10% of the male population, plus making $75,000 a year. That's probably about a good 10% of the population. So I'm already, and she has a 4-year-old. Right.
Hello?
Hey, Kendra.
Hey, baby. What's your name, honey?
My name is Jamaica, but I go by Mecca.
Okay, Mecca. Where you calling me from, boo?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. How old are you?
I'll be 32 this year.
32 this year. Okay. What you do for a living, boo?
I am a treasury specialist at Truist Bank, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So I'm an esthetician, and I have my own boutique.
Esthetician, and you have your own boutique. Mecca, North Carolina, 32, treasurer, a specialist, esthetician. What's your zodiac sign?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. All right, Mecca, baby. Um, oh, you have any kids?
I have one child.
How
She
old's your
just
child?
turned 4.
Four. Why you not with the dad?
Her father passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened?
Wow.
He committed suicide.
Whoa.
No, why?
I'm not sure why. I honestly think he was on drugs at the time. But yeah, that's the long story. We weren't together anyway, but we were friends.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you had to
Wow.
go through that. All right. So this is Mecca,
Thank
North
you.
Carolina, 32, Scorpio, treasure specialist, also entrepreneur, esthetician. One child, that's four. What kind of man you looking for, honey?
Honest one with ambition. He doesn't have to have a lot of money, but he does have to have ambition and goals. Um, Someone that has morals. He doesn't have to be religious, but spiritual. Family oriented, funny. That's about it.
Okay. So does he have to make, look, I got there already because you said he has to be ambitious and all that. So is there money requirements?
I would like to say so because I make a certain amount of money, so he has to at least make about 75.
Okay. He has to make at least 75. Okay.
And we're dealing with them nice round numbers again, where women just throw out stuff without realizing what it actually means. Okay, so average income in North Carolina for men. All right, there it is. I can't. It's always amazing me. It always amazes me. Yeah, he needs to make twice as much as the average man. Now she probably lives in a major metropolitan area, but even then, it's still it's not you're not going to get a double the salary. So right off the bat, we know that this is a career woman who is looking for. Well, we don't know what she's looking for. So far, she says an ambitious, honest, has morals, is spiritual and family oriented. Oh yeah, that's a good bike. Probably 10% of the male population, plus making $75,000 a year. That's probably about a good 10% of the population. So I'm already, and she has a 4-year-old. Right.
Does he have to be in North Carolina?
No.
No. Do men who tend to make 75K try to date you?
Yes.
So what's going on with them?
Just not my type.
What does
So
that
the
mean?
money is a requirement to, I guess, get in the door. Why do they not be your type? What goes on?
Just the personality, we just don't mesh. I see a lot of red flags off gate that I don't like. And like you said before, a lot of men with money, they don't want relationships a lot of the times. They just want a trick.
So why is that?
Okay, so here's some advice for you ladies, because pay attention because this is so important. This woman is a prime example of her standards are too high. The guys that meet her requirements, they're not interested in relationships. So what you need to do here is make an adjustment, okay? If you're looking for marriage or long-term relationships, then you need to have some standards. Yeah, I mean, you need to have realistic standards for the men who are looking for that. Because it doesn't matter how much money he makes. If he's not looking for commitment, it's automatic no. So if those are all the men that approach you that make that amount of money, they're not interested in relationships, then your standards are too high. They're not realistic because all the men who do, they don't qualify. So you've essentially she's what do you call it? She's priced herself out of the market. Congratulations. You're not going to get a guy making 75K because the guys who are interested in long-term commitment who make that, they're not interested in you. That's what's really going on there. I'm not saying those guys don't exist and all men with money just want to sleep around. No, that's not the case. But what is the case is that if the men who make that amount of money who are looking for a wife are not talking to you, they're not interested. It's something about you that's turning you off to them. Now, granted, it's still only a small percentage of men out there, but you have to set realistic standards for the men who are looking for marriage. So if the men who are looking for marriage, that should be the first thing right there, not the income as most women seem to are actually looking for. And the only reason they're looking for it is because again, women are terrible at mate selection. That's the reason they use that is because they don't know any other way to gauge a man. This is why the vetting process is so important because I put on the dad hat for a second and I start thinking if I'm this young lady's father and I'm looking at these guys like I don't care how I don't care how much money you make. How are you going to treat her? That's what's going to be important to me if I'm vetting for the man for my daughter. If I'm betting what's potentially going to be her husband, hey, that's great that you make a lot of money, but I need to know how you're going to treat her. Where's your character at for that? Because if you don't got it, well, no. I'm going to tell her, no, he's not the one for you. Whether she still wants to go for it, that's up to her. But as long as you're under my protection, no. No, he's not the right guy for you.
Based off of your requirements.
Because I make a certain amount of money. So if I make a certain amount, he has to at least, it doesn't have to be what I make, but it has to be somewhere near that ballpark.
Right. No, I get it. I do get it. So let me say this. This is where the challenge happens, unfortunately, for a lot of women who do well financially. Because, see, what we don't realize is when a man does well financially, in his mind, he's going to probably date someone that makes less because as a man, you're paying for things, right? So he's never basing finances when he's looking for his partner because
Hmm.
in his mind, I make so much, I'm paying for everything. So, rightfully so, I get it because I am a woman, so I understand this. You now want financially because you're in a financial tax bracket. You usually want somebody on your level or higher, and it can happen. Not saying it's not going to happen, but that's where the game gets tricky because
Hmm.
sometimes you could, depending on if that guy wants you back, you could price yourself out potentially. Not always. You're a beautiful girl, so
Thank
I don't
you.
think you're going to have any problems with men. But let's continue. All right, so we got
That's
to the
why
money
she's on
thing.
your show, Kendra,
What
because
are your
it's
deal
not working.
breakers?
Um, my deal breakers, again, liars, no goals, moochers, um, people who are not emotionally mature.
Okay. Um, does he have to look a certain way?
I'm a personality person too because of the tax bracket thing. Sometimes I have to, just fill people out. And a lot of the times it's the personality that kills it for me. I don't like arrogance at all.
And like Eric,
Unfortunate truth: the higher your tax bracket, the more arrogant the guy, because he had to work to get to that tax bracket. So yeah, he's most men in that. She's got to figure out what qualities she's looking for in a man besides finances, and just start going off that. A lot of times, career women have this issue. It's because women don't like to share resources. They don't like to share their resources. But here's the problem, though. It's again, Kendra nailed it, and I guess it's because she's done so many of these shows. Is that men on that level already expect to be the breadwinner, so they don't care how much money you make. Most men don't care how much money you make as long as you're making enough to support yourself. But in her case in particular, you know, character is always going to trump income. Always. So, number one, you need to figure out who's vetting these guys for her. And I guarantee you it's nobody. She's doing it herself. That's why she's struggling, though. So you got to figure out, she has to figure out, it's, if she were okay with being the breadwinner, it would make things a lot easier for her, because then, all you have to do is focus on, this is why I tell guys to lead with the dime: self-discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. So if she were to vet guys based on that, then it will weed out a lot of the problems that she's having. But again, most women don't pay attention to things like that. So, it is what it is. But I would say, if she was okay with being the breadwinner, and she was able to find a guy who exudes those four qualities, a lot of times those things, when you have self-discipline, when you outrank your woman in self-discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics, a lot of times women will be okay with the fact that they make more money than you, because they're still allowed to be hypergamous. You're still giving them something to look up to you, to respect you for. See, one of the biggest things that keeps the gender war going is this notion that, well, he just needs to go out and make $75,000 a year, or $100K. That's just the only reason women are saying $75K is because, so many women have been shamed for saying $100K online. So now, well, no, it's 75, as if there's that much difference between the two. But the point is that if you're looking for marriage, okay, then it doesn't matter. Let's just move on. I've spent too much time talking about this.
Gets at all. Okay. Yeah. Well, yes. And I said this earlier. I'm very used to egotistical, confident men because, men know that they're different, and and men do base a lot off of money. So if a man is doing well, he does feel like he's better than other men,
Yeah.
just off of the strength of his financial status, because that's what a lot of men in particular just respect. So yes, men in those tax brackets tend to do come with a lot of confidence. Let's do the Kendra camp, because we got to the money part already.
I am petite.
Okay, you look good.
How
All
tall is she?
right. Okay. You live in North Carolina.
Hmm.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
Her father. That was about 3 years ago.
Okay. And you said you guys were, unfortunately, when he took his life, y'all weren't together at that moment? Okay, understand. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Don't answer.
Ooh. That was probably about three
Nope.
months ago.
No
Three
right
months
answer to
ago.
that
3 months
question.
ago. Okay. Um, what are three flaws you have to work on, Mecca?
I'm a Scorpio, so I hold grudges. I'm also quick to be out. Like, soon as I see a red flag, I'm out. My patience is just very thin. I have patience for my 4-year-old and for myself. So any men that are grown in that arrogance, immature, can't do it. Patience is very thin. So I have to work on that. Um, and I would say like the grudges for sure. Just holding grudges. I have to work on that.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you, Mecca?
Because I feel like I am an asset to anyone that I'm with. I've never
How?
been in a relationship and the guy has left the relationship the same way he came in. Um, I'm very
To make
caring,
you better.
nurturing. Yes, caring, nurturing, and I like to build with people.
No, she don't. No,
Okay,
you
she likes to
don't.
build with people. Do you want more kids?
That's a flat out lie. She just said that. Oh, red flag. I'm out. How are you building with somebody if you're dropping them at the first sign? Like, what are y'all building? I mean, am I wrong here, chat? If I missed something here, if please tell me, because I'm open to the possibility I could be wrong. But this woman sounds like she leaves when it. If you breathe wrong, she's out the door. So I don't want to hear that whole. Oh, I'm looking. I can build with a man. Build how? Build what? Seriously, like I. She's attractive too, but yeah, I'm at a loss for that one.
I'm open to it. At the moment, I'm kind of like still on the fence about that because our daughter was his only kid, my only kid, and that's kind of like the only thing we shared, and he's gone now. So I'm kind of like on the fence about that a little bit. But if I find someone that I'm serious with, I'm open to it. If that's how he wants to share his love or express his love, I'm open to it.
Okay. And does he have to be in North Carolina?
Mm-mm.
No. This a girl did this earlier because I know a lot of times it's so interesting because I see people that say that 100K isn't a lot of money, 75K isn't a lot of money. I think this girl, it was a girl, she was a stripper and an EMT, but she requested the salary based off of where she lived. And I think that's actually very
Mm.
smart. I think you guys, I don't know,
Big surprise! Hey, don't we do that here? It's amazing, right?
everybody's everything matters, right? So you should really Google the average salary in your area, and that will help you understand how many men you truly have to date within that salary range.
Can't make
Just
this
something
up.
food for thought. Food for thought. A girl on my show did that earlier, and I thought that was kind of cool. But
I
back
do
to
know that I work, well, I live in Charlotte. So that's kind of like the capital for Bank of America. I used to work at Bank of America. So I do know that there is men here that are pretty.
Shout out to my moderator, Chris. Says, "What's good, Mike? I'm at a concert going to miss the show, but I catch the replay." Shout out to you, Chris. Hey, man, we'll catch you next go round, brother. Go ahead and have fun.
Financially stable because I work in that field and I'm amongst them. But again, it's like it's hard to find that good character, that wholesome, all around wholesome guy when he has money. It's a
Yeah, you're looking for a unicorn, and you know he's a unicorn, but you're still. You know what? Let's just keep going.
little bit easier to find it when they don't have as much money, but then again, they may not know as much. So it's just
Yeah, I
it's
mean the to me it makes sense because I'm looking at it from a different point of view. You know, sitting here hosting this show for 3 years, men who have money and men who are attractive, women tolerate more, and
mm-hmm.
there are a lot of single women. So that guy, unless he's in a position now, and I think this goes for everything, you only want to date a person who really wants to be in a relationship, is at that moment in his life, regardless of, he might be tired, like been here, done that. And there
Mm-hmm.
are some men who are relationship men, and there are some men who truly are not relationship men. Like they enjoy being single, having a plethora of women.
It's
That
a
is who
lot of
they
those.
are. So you really got to find a guy, and there are men that do get tired of it and say, you know what, I'm tired of having a different woman every weekend. I'm tired of whatever. I really want to settle down on one woman. So that's just kind of the dance of it. But I think you're everyone's saying you're naturally pretty. You're not gonna have a
Thank
guy problem.
you.
It's going to be you just finding the person to align with the things you desire.
Thank,
Hello?
thank you so much.
All
I
right. So how can he
appreciate this,
reach out to
Keita.
you, honey?
So I have Instagram and Facebook. My Instagram is I am Jamaica Hikoya, and it's JAMECCAHEQUOYA. And then my Facebook is Jamaica Johnson.
Jamaica Johnson. All right, boo. Well, you keep me posted how it goes, honey.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at her Instagram. You know what? Okay. This is huh. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and look at it. She's got some marketing stuff for her. I'm guessing it's a side business that she does. But I'm not sure who that is, but okay. I think these are her. Yep. Yeah. These shots almost look this is this looks like it was taken by a professional. The format that the photo is in, hmm, the fact that there are no, I think this might have been a photographer. Which, if she sprung the money to pay for a photographer for professional pictures, says a lot. And yeah, I'm not seeing any thirst traps. Um, Again, it's that same location but a different outfit, which makes me think that it's a professional, and she actually photographs well. So, is she feminine? Yeah, these shots are all feminine. Again, more photos, and it's got that's an SLR in the back on a tripod, and a solid tripod at that, which makes me wonder. Okay, how old is this picture? 83 weeks ago. Okay, yeah. Again, she's attractive. Uh, Her Instagram does not. Hmm. It doesn't say it has her entrepreneur, which is not very specific. So you don't get, you're not really sure what her business is, and there's no mention of her 9 to 5 job. That's interesting. All right. Well, what did we learn from her Instagram? Well, she is feminine. Um, and she's not obese. She's in shape actually. So yeah, there's that. She has a 4-year-old kid, so she's not childless. Is she cooperative? I don't think so. I think she's holding out for a unicorn. She wants a guy making 75K who is family oriented, honest, ambitious, morals, spiritual, family oriented, and she's looking. Sounds like she's looking for a high value man who wants to be monogamous. Is she friendly? I don't think so. Again, I think she. I don't want to say she judges people based off their income, um, but I think that she may be doing that unconsciously because of the industry that she works in. I spent 5 years working in financial services, and it becomes it's all ingraining when you work in that field. So yeah, it is what it is. Is she submissive? I don't think so. Again, if you're the unicorn, yeah, but if not, she's not gonna give you the time of day because we already said she holds grudges and she has trust issues. So her trust issues is whether or not she trusts you has a lot to do with your income. I mean, she talked about it. Well, guys who don't make that kind of money, you know more than them. She doesn't respect you if you make less money than her. And she'll probably, if she saw this, she would probably say, well, that's not true. Okay, so where are the guys then? Where's the marriages? You're going to tell me that I'm willing to bet that she's 32. Chances are she already met her husband and blew it somehow. I mean, I don't know because it's outside of the scope of this interview here, but I think that's what happened here. Usually by by your 30s, ladies, you probably met your husband already. You just didn't recognize him as being that. You met the guy you qualified for, and essentially you blew it. So now you're out here looking for a unicorn later in life, got a child in tow, and yeah, I mean, for taking on a kid, the man taking on your child, the man who is making over $75,000 a year, is family oriented, and all those good things that she mentioned. Best of luck to her. I don't think this woman is marriageable, at least for the majority of the male population.